Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 48 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where today I think I'm ready to make the mob spawner that we've been gunning for since we got started here. So the last few episodes we've been focused on pneumatic craft for the express purpose of basically getting a really cool mob spawner. And I promised you guys this would be worth it, right? I'm pretty sure I did at least. Between episodes, I real quick taught this thing how to make some cool stuff here. So he's lasering and drilling up. So hopefully that's doing his job. He's running just fine. Yeah, not too shabby. A little bit of lasering and drilling to make that happen. How are you doing in terms of pressure? You're doing okay. You're doing okay. I'm debating if I want to swap out all my tubes in here for, advanced tubes, but I'm not sure. So we're making advanced tubes, which can handle pressure up to 20 bars, unlike everything else that can handle 5. But most machines can't handle 20. Like this guy can only handle 5. Stuff and things. It's not worth it to really have all your machines bumped up to 20 bars because very few of them can handle that high pressure. But there are a few that can. So we can either set up some kind of crazy shenanigans to try and keep everything at 5 except the ones that need it, or we could just have a separate line. But one thing I do want to set up is the flux-based thing, so I can more easily get pressure. So the pneumatic craft flux compressor should be pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and teach you how to be made, and hopefully that's an easy craft for me at this point, right? I'm hoping that's what we'll see. Yeah, not bad. So we're missing turbine rotor, compressed iron gear, and blast furnace. Okay, so compressed iron gear, we should probably make one of you. I'm going to go ahead and add the flux doohickey over here so that we also have the blast furnace. That's going to be you, right? And do we have smooth stone? I don't know that we do, but I should teach you that regular stone smelts into smooth stone, just so we have that recipe for things. And then the turbine rotor. I think we made all the prerequisites for that, so I just have to teach it the actual rotor component itself. So that shouldn't be bad. So that should be cool. So I can make myself a flux compressor now. And if that's true, I'll be very pleased. Start. So yeah, look at all the things. Perfect. Oh, we already have 2 printed circuit boards available. Well, that's convenient. That's convenient. Nice. So he's gonna... Probably the doors are opening for both the compressed iron ingots and the turbine blades. All that's cooking beautifully. Yes, nice. That ran. That's good to see. You're processing, and boom, flux motor. Nice. So let's take a look at using the flux motor and the advanced mechanical pipes. FERF, UICF, all the things. Tearing it up. It's what's up. So this guy's really simple. Sort of. There's a little bit of nuance to him. So the one key about this thing is he's not super efficient, but he's also super easy to use. The other thing to note, there's a few upgrades we can put on him. He can get up to 20 bars without having any problems, so that's cool. The other thing that he does is he generates heat as he's running. So the problem is we want to dissipate this heat to make him more efficient, because as he runs, he's going to generate heat, which will lead to efficiency loss, which will be bad. So we want to have a vortex tube on here to keep him nice and cool, right? So we'll probably definitely want a vortex tube if we can. That shouldn't be a problem. We've got a couple heat dudes. We'll probably want a heat sink as well. Let's get some more compressed iron. Let me get like a stack of you, because I feel like right now all my crafting is waiting for the iron compression to happen, right? So we'll get our vortex tube ready to go. We'll get a couple heat sinks ready to go. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. Nice. Let's also get our pressurized spawner, which we can now make, but we need an empty spawner. The only way to get this is to extract an essence out of a spawner. So I'm going to get my spawner extractor here. I think I can handle this. So let's see. Spawner extractor, that would be you. So you need a drill pipe. Okay, that's cool. That's a new thing for me. And hey, spawner extractor. Beautiful. Now, does this guy... I forget if he needs pressure. He does. Extract spawner cores from vanilla spawners. Be prepared for a fight. Yes. Yes. Trust me on that. You want to be prepared for a fight. Cool. So you should be, are you filling up? Oh, right, because I turned you off. Cool, so you won't fill up on power. Beautiful. So I've got you, well, I didn't exactly mean to do that. I was in the nether getting soul sand for something that I needed, I forget, and I was still on 3x3 dig mode. I always forget to turn that off. So I've got you, I've got these guys, I've got this, I've got that. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready. So we're gonna have to go try it out. So let's head over to this general direction, right? And I think, remember a couple episodes ago, I went and did some Enderman things. This was the way I did that. Cool. So here's my wither skeleton spawner, right? Now it's well lit in this room, so we don't have to worry too much about mob spawning. We'll watch out for a little bit of magma blocking, but that's okay. We'll, maybe I'll just replace the magma blocks here so I don't accidentally... There we go. And that looks pretty cool. Yeah, looks good to me. So what you do is, we're gonna pop down our spawner extractor on here. That looks cool. Let's put away some junk we don't super need. Me bringing literally a stupid amount of things with me. Come on, Dyer. What is up with that? Just not thinking. I should really set up, what I should set up is a chest of some kind for like a ender chest and pouch situation, but I'm not that smart. I guess I should just pop. It's not that far of a flight. I'm gonna pop home and deposit some junk because we have to kill a bunch of wither skeletons in a minute here, and as a result, we're gonna want to make sure that we have a lot of inventory space. Cool. I don't think I need thermal lagging at the moment. We don't need the low tier pressure tubes. I don't need this tank. There's a bunch of things I don't need. I don't need a bucket, I don't think. I don't need my shrinker. I don't think I need my Amadron tablet. I don't think I need a thermopneumatic processing plant. Why do I have all this junk on me, Direwolf? Okay, good enough. Alright, let's try that again. We're going to fly out here, hit up that wither spawner, and then we're going to extract the wither core essence. So remember, there's two ways to get cores that will allow you to spawn mobs using pneumaticraft. Okay? Two ways. Now hover should activate. Yeah, emergency hover. You can either craft a blank core from pneumaticraft, which is this guy, right? You just literally craft a blank core with some memory essence, and that's it. And then you can use the vacuum trap to absorb mobs. So the way this works is you place it on the ground, mob walks near it, it's got an empty core in it, it'll absorb a piece of that mob. Or you can get a fully purified version of the core by extracting it from a mob spawner. So normally in vanilla Minecraft, we wouldn't have wither mob spawners, so we'd have to like lure a bunch of wither mobs toward wither skeletons to the vacuum trap. But luckily, we have a wither spawner right here, so we can extract the core right out of this guy. So you'll notice he actually needs negative pressure to run. So what we're going to need to do is create negative pressure. That's right. And I forget how to do that. There's a machine that lets you do that. And I forget what it is. Is it the vacuum? Yeah, it's the vacuum pump. That's what we need. So we're going to make this flight again. I need the vacuum pump. I forgot. He needs negative pressure. I knew that too. I knew that and I forgot. I knew it and I forgot it. So you'll come over here. You're going to make these guys for me. So the vacuum pump will allow you to suck air out of a machine. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And that should be cool. So vacuum pump, huh? All right, we should be good for that now. And hopefully that's groovy. All right, one more time with the flight out here. If I have to fly out here again, I'm just doing it off camera, I'm telling you. Luckily, it's a short flight, and my jetpack is really fast. All right, beautiful. So the vacuum pump works as something like this. So there is a plus side and a minus side. So we want to connect our pressure tubes up like that. And then you're going to come here with our flux compressor. Okay. But as a reminder, your flux compressor is going to get very hot. So we're going to want you with the cold side facing down. And maybe what I'll do is put a heat pipe here, and we will vent on 2 sides. And hopefully that'll be nice and keep things coolly. And then I should be able to connect you like that, and we should be groovy. Nice. Now I did bring my flux points with me. I'm not that foolish. I did actually remember to bring those, so yay. And let's have you ready to go, because you know we're gonna need to be killing some wither skeletons here in a minute. I just want to be at full health for this, or at least as close to it as I can be. So here goes nothing. So I'm gonna pop this dude here. We're gonna connect him to Darwell 20's network. He should be getting power. He's generating heat. He's always on. The compressor is running at suboptimal efficiency. Cool the machine down to 50C. Are you not running? Why aren't you generating air pressure? Maybe it's because... Oh, you know, I could probably throw some speed upgrades in there if we wanted to. That would probably help. Yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking on pressure. Look at that. Booyah. So this pressure, I think, should be dropping. Alright, clearly I don't know what I'm doing with that thing. Yeah, clearly I don't know. Oh yeah, you got up to 10 bars really quick, didn't you? Yeah, you did. And you never went down below... I thought that's all I had to do was connect the positive and the negative end. Alright, let me go make another one of those. Alright, so in fairness, I did warn you guys that... You know, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this thing. Let's connect you back up then. So, like that. That's negative side, right? So we want to do that. So you should be cool, I feel like. Yeah. Chief of Vacuum apply pressurized air at the plus tube, and when 2 bars reached, air at the negative tube will be sucked out. Yeah, so that should be working, I think. I think that's it. Always on. Like, I could do some speed upgrades, maybe, and that would help. Yeah, that might be helping. Alright, cool. That might be helping. And I did set this guy to require a redstone signal, but I didn't bring any levers, but that's okay. We can turn him on. So now, are you groovy? Yeah, there we go. Our pressure's dropping. There we are. Nice. So I just need to be a little bit more patient is all. That's all. Just need to be a little bit more patient. So a little bit of speed upgrades here, and now we're cooking. Nice. Nice. That is cool. Let's make sure we've got food here. They are hurtful mobs. So if we look on here, it should tell us our progress. See, it's at 32%. Nice. Beautiful. 41%. Nice. We're getting there. We're getting there. Dyer was just impatient, that's all. How are you doing? Alright, you should probably be turned off at this point. Yay for a ridiculous hammer. 80%. I wasn't going to bother automating that whole thing, right? Because I don't think it's necessary to do so. Hey, I heard a pop. I heard the pop. Hey, there he is. Spawner core. Nice. Wither skeleton 100%. So as a note, you can have multiple mobs in your spawner cores. So that when you spawn, if you had like 50% blaze, 50% wither skeleton, you'll get blazes half the time and wither skeletons the other half the time. That is awesome. And wow, look at all this enchanted gear I got. That is cool beans too. So much enchanted gear that I don't have room to do anything. So let me go home, drop off all this junk because I'm just going to hang on to it because, I mean, it's kind of cool. There's some neat stuff. And then we'll come back in a minute or two here. I'm going to collect all this junk out of here because we don't need it anymore. And this is your empty spawner, by the way. So that's what we need to craft the pressurized spawner. Back in a minute. All right, guys, we are back. And I've just spent a little bit of time building off camera. So I could be prepared for this next segment. But I also want to make the pressurized spawner, which would be cool. I'm going to get around to that memory stick in a minute, I promise. But let's go check out what I made. So what I've got over here is kind of a mirror image of this dude. But what I've got is here, looking good. That should be a good time. Yeah, I like that. That is cool beans. Isn't that cool beans? I like it. I need to extend my my wireless thing, and I really need that inventory. Like, I really need to make like a bag that can help me out there. What else we got? What else we got? Junk and more junk. All right. So I made sure to keep it light because several people were commenting about how it was too dark last time I worked in one of these rooms. So light level doesn't matter for this pressurized spawner, so that's cool. So what do we got here? Pressurized spawner. I think I want this to actually be above ground here. So what I'm going to do is pop him right there. I may or may not need to pipe something in from underground. Now, you'll note the pressurized spawner requires at least 10 bars of pressure, which is a big reason that we were waiting to get to this tier of pneumatic craft, because I needed to, you know, pretty obviously I need to have something that can generate more than 5 bars and some pressure tubes that can do more than 5 bars. So we really needed to be at a good place with this. So I'm debating exactly how I want this to work, right? Because there's a few, like, obviously I can't XNet this or do anything super fancy. But I do want him to be redstone controlled. So, like, the question then becomes, how do we want to handle this? So what we could, like, there's a few things, right? There's a few nuances to this. We want to make sure, and I'm not sure what the range, does this show me where he spawns at? So he generally spawns above. Does he spawn at the same Y level or below? He's doing 1 below. So he will do 1 below. So if I want this guy to be flush in the ground, I should fill in 1 Y level below him. Otherwise, what we're going to have is the potential for mobs to show up under here. And that's a bad time. No thank you. No, we definitely don't want that happening. So let's grab you and set this guy to surface mode, fuzzy, and place on top, which is a misnomer, I guess, technically, but, you know, it's all good. Come on, we can not be in range of clicking him, yes? Wow, he really wants me to be within range of clicking him, doesn't he? We can make this work one way or another. Boom. Now we're cooking. Sweet. All right, cool. So now, you know, he's flush with the ground, and hopefully it won't be spawning any wither skeletons down there. So what we want then is the ability to probably XNet him for redstone control, and then also pneumatic pressure him. So I'm going to start with the pressure. Let's get that up and running first, because I think that would probably be the smartest of moves, right? So let's get you going, maybe facing this direction, and we can advance pressurized tube him straight down here. In fact, I'm going to do that so we can vortex this dude and wrench the vortex such that the blue side, because we want to keep it cool, we want it to be cool, and then enough heat sinking. I guess let's try with just the heat sink like that, and we'll see how it goes. Right now, technically, there's a solid block there, and I think that's a bad time. So what I think we want to make sure that all sides of the heatsink are open to air. Otherwise, we'll have a problem. So what if we vortex tube down the side here? Might be smarter. And then we can heatsink like this. And this guy is side air, right? Air, air, air. So all sides open to air. If we really wanted to, I don't think the corners matter. I'm like 95% sure the corners don't matter. But, you know, we'll just do that, right? So that'll give you lots of air pressure. So let's get you RF cooking. And we probably want to have something to turn this off when he's somewhere between 10 and 15. That would probably be smart. We'll want to sort that out in a bit. But for now, we'll get you some power and a few speed upgrades. Warnings, redstone disallows this to function. Cool. He remembered the fact that I wanted him redstone controlled. So let's put him on always mode, right? And then we'll see how this guy's doing. So north temperature, north is what direction? That direction? That's south. Okay, cool. So south and north is hotter. Okay, cool. Shouldn't be too shabby. Now I definitely want this thing to be redstone controlled. So high signal on. I'm going to give him the wither skeletons. And let's just let this thing build up a little bit here. I'm going to give you 8 of these. And that'll really get the temperature probably climbing a little bit, but that's okay. And then the pressure should be equalizing pretty well. That's okay. And I really should automate this, but we'll see. Let's get him up to 10 bars of pressure, right? Somewhere between 10 and 20. And then I'm probably going to turn this guy off, just so I can demonstrate this cool spawner. All right, so you're getting up to the 10 mark. So you're not going to do anything because redstone disabled, right? So that's an important note there. But you're getting up to 10 bars, which is pretty cool. He's also getting a little bit hot, but that's okay, not too hot. Now, are you getting too hot over here? So you're at 255, you're like 220-ish. Now, I'm just curious, because I'm actually not sure of the answer to this question. But if I did this... Ow, it's hot. Ow, it's hot. Is that going to cool things off better for us? I don't know, we'll see. So as you approach 15 or 20-ish there, I'm gonna put a stop to you. I might want another flux compressor, like on the other side, because this thing's gonna get really hot if I leave this many speed upgrades in it. But I probably won't need that many speed upgrades once we've got, like, I'm gonna have to like balance out like how many speed upgrades I need versus, you know, all kinds of other stuff, right? Let's get him up to a good like 20-ish. Efficiency is 41%. Yeah, we really need to cool him down some. Cool the machine below 50C. Oof. Getting very hot, sir. You don't have a UI, so no speed upgrades for you, Vortex Tube. Yeah, I'm thinking another Vortex Tube might be the way to go. All right, that should be cool. So let's set you to high signal, which means you are now stopping running. And let's go try this bad boy out, shall we? All right, let's check him out. So, you, sir, are ready. So let's turn you on now. And your first thought is going to be, Dire, I thought you said this was going to be cool. Where's all the wither skeletons? They're coming. Give him a second. It's okay. It's okay. He's a little slow. We'll get there. Alright. He's very slow. Unupgraded, that is. If I throw some speed upgrades in there, though, now he should be groovy. Spawn interval every 3 ticks. There they are. Hello! Ow. Now, eventually he's going to stop running because we're going to run out of pressure. How's that? How's that? Is that cool or what? All right, so let's do a little automation around making sure that the generator down here is behaving itself in a proper way. And what I'm going to do is get another vortex tube. And I don't know that the heat sinking was better with the heat pipe. So what I'll do is just have a straight up heat sink on the end of this tube. So what I'm going to do is remove you guys, pop this dude on here, get another heatsink like so with the blue side there, this guy cooking here, and that should be cool. beans, hopefully-ish. You'll also notice that I moved my flux point down underneath so that we can measure and do redstone-y things to the front. I thought that would be cool. Now what I'm going to do is immediately apply a pressure gauge here. Okay. Now what's cool about the pressure gauge, which we haven't seen yet, is if you get an advanced PCB, which we have access now because of printed circuit boards, and we click one of those dudes onto there, and note you get 4 of these per craft, just click it on there. Ho, advanced PCB installed. Look at this. Advanced config, emit when, oh, look at that, very fancy. So basic configuration means emit a redstone signal when greater than or less than a certain bar pressure, right? So if we want to say redstone signal equals turn on, then we will emit when it's less than 15 bars. Does that sound fair? That sounds fair to me. Okay, cool. And then we can just loop you right around here. We may or may not. Boom. How's that? Pretty cool? So as long as we're below 15 bars of pressure, I think it's, you're going to emit a redstone signal. You're requiring a redstone signal to run. You're going to get your speed upgrades in there. I think like 5 or 6-ish should be good. So he'll kick up. You can see his temperature is starting to climb. Hopefully our vortex tubes do a good job of keeping this thing nice and cool. We'll find out if 2 of them are enough to keep it at a decent temperature. I mean, with more flux compressors, it's obviously going to be a little bit tough, but we'll see what happens. I mean, with more speed upgrades, right? Like, speed upgrades is obviously going to make this thing get hotter quicker. But this should be a very simple way of keeping this guy at the right pressure, which is neat. Now, if you wanted to, you could put it on, like, advanced mode, and then you can have, like, a whole scale of lower and higher and all this other stuff. But if you really want something simple, it's just, hey, turn on when less than 15. That's all you need right there. Super simple. And I think what we'll probably find is as it gets from 0 to 15, it's going to get pretty hot. And it's not even getting that hot, though. I think the 2 vortex tubes are doing a really nice job of keeping this thing cool. But what's going to happen is it's going to eventually hit 15, right? And let's not forget that I think I left this thing turned on, so that's probably hilarious. Yeah, high signal, please. Let's not let this thing start spawning wither skeletons when I'm not ready for it. But what'll happen is it'll turn off when it hits 15, and then it'll cool down a little bit, and then it won't need to run that much to get us back up over 15, so we should stay at a pretty low temperature. So this should be good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Yeah. So I'm going to give this guy a few minutes here. All right, maximum input rate, stored energy, everything's looking pretty solid, to be honest with you. Yeah, let's give this guy a minute or two just to hit up to 15. I'll come right back when we're close to 15. All right, so we're getting real close to 15 bars of pressure here. You can see it at the top. Temperature is playing a big role in terms of that. We're at like 14.95. So what's going to happen is we're going to start having some flickering here, it looks like, which is cool. Yeah, he's getting there. Emitting redstone. Yeah, cool. All right, good times. So that works-ish, right? He's going to flicker. Now remember, because we have 2 vortex tubes installed here, very much going to be using some pressure in the system. But I think this is nice and stable now. It's a little flickery. And don't forget, flickering redstone equals chunk reloads equals bad times for FPS and things. So don't forget that a little bit, What we might want to do is adjust this so that he's not constantly flickering. It might make sense to do an advanced config here. So we could set this to be 14 to 16 or 14 to 17. That might make sense. That might make sense. And what I'll probably do is throw a repeater in here. Yeah. So then he's going to emit a redstone signal based on how much pressure there is in there. And that would probably be pretty cool. That might be a better way to do it to prevent flickering, because flickering is bad. And even though I'm in a single player world, I try to build things that are good for servers, because I recognize sometimes you guys are watching and you're like, hey, that's a cool build, I'm going to build on a server, and some of you may not be aware that that's probably not great for a server to have flickering redstone like that. It's not the end of the world, but it's also not great, especially if a lot of people do that. If 30 people on a server built something like that, it would be a bad time. So I always try to be a little extra careful about stuff. So what this will do is it'll get up to about 17, and that's when it'll turn off the redstone-y stuff. Oh, wow, and he's really cooled off, by the way. His temperature's at negative 258, so I can probably throw a couple more speed upgrades in there. And the temperature's going to go up, but, like, that's okay. Now, see, he's flickering again. See, that's what I didn't want, is I'm trying to avoid flickering. Let's use this guy, the powered latch from Create. I think this might serve us. What I'm probably going to want, though, is another sensor for this dude with another advanced PCB. So what this does, and I don't know if you can tell, but we're already having, I mean, I'm noticing a little bit of a frame rate dip even from this. Let's remove you for a sec. Okay, and I think I can remove you without breaking nothing. There you go, shift click to remove, perfect. So this guy is just an RS latch, basically. So a signal coming in the back will turn it on, and a signal coming from either side will turn it off. So right now it's off, sides do nothing, right? Back receives a redstone signal, it turns it on. Sides receive a redstone signal, turns it off, right? So if you're on, you're off. Cool. Just making sure I understand how that works. Beautiful. So basically, what I'm probably going to want is, I might actually want to keep this here. And what if we put one here, and you can each have a PCB, right? And then we'll have the powered latch facing outwards, okay? But I'm going to configure you to emit, so when you're greater than, well, emit when you're less than 13 bars, and you emit when you're greater than 17 bars, okay? Right? So when you're less than 13, you're going to emit a redstone signal. So he should stop emitting in a moment. Okay? And then that's not going to change the state of this until this one emits when he's greater than 17. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So you're at 14. So this is no longer emitting a redstone signal, by the way, but note that it hasn't changed the state of this redstone signal. But once we hit 17 over here, this should toggle on and turn off the thing, right? Now, he won't turn back on until this drops below 13, right? Because this is configured to when less than 13 emit a redstone signal. So basically, when it's less than 13, it turns on. When it's greater than 17, it turns off. How's that? Is that cool? I think that's cool. That should be pretty cool. Now, you vortex tubes are just doing a lot of heavy lifting. I might remove one of you because we probably don't need both now that we're at such a stable position. So I'm going to remove you. All I have to do to remove you, by the way, is that. And that should be cool. And that reduces the amount of pressure needing. So he's going to stay between 13 and 17 all the time. And now we're using less pressure, and that's pretty good times, I think. Yeah, I like this. I like this design. This is actually really slick. Look, that's nice and compact, right? That's not bad at all. Not at all. Yeah, I like it. I think that's cool. I think that's cool. And then, like I said, below 13, he'll kick on. And that'll always keep us at a good, nice pressure. All right, cool. So now all we got to do, which we'll probably wind up doing next episode, but all we got to do is configure redstone control for this pressurized spawner, which we'll do with XNet, and then set up the create, deployer, and fans so that we can blow mobs towards the giant infinity hammer, and that should be cool beans. And then what I'm going to do is presumably work towards getting a blaze and an enderman spawner, which shouldn't be hard because both of those exist in that dungeon back there. And that should be cool. All right, for now, Darwell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time to play more and have a lot of fun with this stuff. I might throw a gauge on here that limits the amount of air that can go in here, because I don't think we need as much air going in here. Like, we still want to keep this thing cool, but I don't think we need as much. So I might throw a gauge on there to adjust that. We'll see. We'll see. But for now, let's wrap it up point. Darwell20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.